Hey, what's up? I'm going to be talking about 5 reasons why I think Notre Dame will beat Ohio State this year. I'm sorry for the gameplay not being relevant. But first, I'd like to start with a related Bible quote, and it's Ecclesiastes 8:7. It says something along the lines of, there's no reason to argue about the future because no one knows what's going to happen in the future. So I don't think it's worth really arguing who's going to win this game, because truly we don't really know enough yet. I know as much as you for this game, and it's nothing so far. We know nothing about how the game will go. So I'm going to be giving reasons why I think Notre Dame will win. I mean, I'm a fan, so I'm probably have a little optimism, a little too much optimism, but I really think they can win, so I'm giving reasons why. But at the end of the day, I know as much as you. And so I'm going to give 5 reasons, and the number one is it's a home game for Notre Dame. I mean, that's really big, and a lot of people say, look at Georgia in 2017 at Notre Dame, look at Cincinnati in 2021. Those were big stadium takeovers, and that really made a difference. But I feel like the thing is, and I'll get back into this to reason 5, but Notre Dame just didn't really care as much about that Georgia and that Cincinnati game as they do this Ohio State game. I think this is going to be a lot like Clemson was this past year for Notre Dame, where it was just it was hype the whole way through. The fans were into it. I think that's exactly what this Ohio State's going to be in. The Ohio State's going to be like this year. I think Notre Dame's going to bring a lot of passion, and I'll get to that later. But they have a home field, and I definitely think it's an advantage. Reason number 2, Notre Dame has an underrated roster. I see a bunch of Ohio State fans saying only Joe Alt and Sam Hartman would start at Ohio State. And that's kind of like, number one, I don't think that's true at all. I mean, Benjamin Morrison, obviously, Blake Fisher, and there's definitely more. Number 2, a lot of Notre Dame's players are pretty young. A lot of our receivers are. They just have a lot of unproven talent that is going to be there and have shown flashes. And number 3, that doesn't really matter for games, individual games. If that mattered all the time, then there wouldn't ever be an upset. I just don't think that's a good reason that solidifies why Ohio State's going to win 100%. Notre Dame's not out of the question. Reason 3, Ohio State QB. I mean, could be Devin Brown, could be Kyle McCord, probably Kyle McCord. But that's the thing, this is that QB's 4th game ever in college, and you're expecting them to go to this hectic environment and beat one of the best teams in the country. This is that QB's first real test, and Notre Dame definitely has a QB advantage, or at least they should. Hartman's a lot more experienced and has been in a lot more big games. He has had some stinker of games, but last year he threw 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions against Clemson. He can show up in these big games. He's not a turnover machine like everyone says he is. And I think the Ohio State QB, how inexperienced they are, can definitely lose them this game. And number 4, these two teams played last year. It was at Ohio State. And, I see a lot of people saying, oh, Notre Dame's wearing these green jerseys just for them to lose by 20, 30. And I'm just like, yeah, we lost by 11 last year. Notre Dame played very conservative last year. A lot of Ohio State fans, I kind of feel like, are delusional. They're just like, oh, our defense shut them out. Our run game destroyed them. I mean, they had one good run drive, and our defense was very tired because they were on the field the whole time. And I feel like that was because our offense played so passive. Ohio State had some big sacks, but I feel like most of the things our offense couldn't get going, most of the reasons why that happened is because Notre Dame shot themselves in the foot. They didn't take risks because they didn't want to turn the ball over. But they had so many 3-and-outs. It was so frustrating to watch. Now I don't think Notre Dame has to play passive anymore. They have a QB that he might throw some picks, but when he throws those picks, he makes up for it. All right, Buckner, I can't say the same thing for Buckner. I think the performance last year shows promise, and it gives me a lot of confidence that team last year was able to keep it close to the Ohio State team. That was a lot better. Ohio State had some very fortunate catches and that gives me a lot of confidence going into this year, where I feel like Notre Dame's roster is 10 times better. And I really think they have a great chance to win, even though a lot of people don't. And reason number 5, and the final reason, Notre Dame's passion for winning this game. Notre Dame wants to beat Ohio State way more than Ohio State wants to beat Notre Dame, you know. Notre Dame, this is all I want, all right? Freeman wants it very bad. He just wants to win. Notre Dame wants to win, while Ohio State, they kind of just expect to win. You know, I don't think they want to win as much as they expect to win. I think Notre Dame has a lot of confidence, and honestly, Notre Dame being underrated might help them because they can really surprise this team. So, again, I don't know the future, but I'm a fan. I really hope Notre Dame wins. And go Irish. Thank you for watching. I'm sure there are some counter reasons, but thank you for watching, and please listen to my stance. All right, thank you.